Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter, had the nerve, the audacity to reunite Destiny's Child, as if I did not spend my younger years listening to Destiny's Child, Writings on the Wall, and Survivor like they were academic books that I needed to learn to get through life. Welcome to Everything's Not Fine, where we unpack the chaos, celebrate the culture, and keep the pores heavy. Now they have reunited once again, and I missed it. I miss it every time, and I just want to know, what must we do to get a schedule of the pop-outs? I know that's going to make the competition harder, but I need secret codes, guides, clues, something. Because enough is enough. I give you my loyalty, I give you my love, my dedication, and I get concerts where nobody comes out as a surprise. Paris got Miley and Jay, Atlanta got Jay, Vegas got Shabuzi, and then they got Kelly and Michelle and Beyonce coming out in synchronization because Matthew Knowles pushed that he trained that muscle memory. They came out in formation to Lose My Breath, and then they mixed it with energy from my favorite Beyonce album, Renaissance, and then they gave them Bootylicious. Ooh. All I know is there better be a Destiny's Child reunion tour next. I don't even want Act 3. I want Act 3, but I don't want it right now. I actually now immediately want the Destiny's Fulfilled again with Blue Ivy Carter opening it. That's the tour I want, and I don't think that anybody should be allowed to go who was not alive when the Destiny's Child album came out. I'm not talking about Writings on the Wall. I'm talking about the self-titled. Those of you who just came on for Beyonce self-titled, back of the line. We get first dibs on this reunion tour, and I need it immediately. Did y'all know that there is a community in Northeast Arkansas that doesn't allow basically any people of color, anybody who's not white, anybody who's not Christian, and anybody who's not heterosexual?
We're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
You don't let everyone into your home.
Can you imagine how boring that must be? How unseasoned the food must be in that town? How offbeat the rhythm of this place must be? I wouldn't want to be a part of that town, whether they invited us there or not at this point. Please, y'all can keep it. Keep it. Have it. It's crazy. It's racist. It's homophobic. And it's definitely worrisome. Hopefully don't catch it, don't spread it. But what a lame place to be. I know they bored too. They're bored, they're offbeat, and they're hungry. Ralph Lauren put out a capsule collection featuring Oak Bluffs in association with Morehouse and Spelman. And the whole thing has really got the family feuding online.
I do not want a black all-American story when it comes to Polo Ralph Lauren, because that is not how we and people who look like me have engaged with Polo Ralph Lauren.
Initially, very surprising and unexpected to me, because you have this beautiful, culturally specific celebration. But I realized that I think the problem here and what we're really arguing about are the deep-rooted classism issues that this whole ad has triggered for people.
It's not one band, one sound. We are not a monolith, and we all grew up with different experiences.
James Jeter is a Morehouse alum, has put out capsule collections before in association with Morehouse and Spelman. The schools are getting a cut. The way it came about seems organic. I get all of that. There's still a level of privilege that comes with being able to have access to these spaces. And the truth is, a lot of us don't have access to them. Now, that goes for both HBCUs and places like Oak Bluffs. Not everybody can get to college, not everybody can go. I went to an HBCU. That is a privilege that I hold dear. I never grew up even knowing about Martha's Vineyard or Oak Bluffs until I was a grown adult. I didn't go for the first time until last summer. And when I went, I totally got it. It's a place I wish I could have grown up spending my summers. But the truth is that for a lot of us, we'll never get to experience these things. We're celebrating something that, yes, it's aspirational for some, but it's also a thing that is becoming harder to believe that we can attain until we all come together and figure out how we can all get pieces of the pie. We need to really make this less about Ralph Lauren, about Oak Bluffs, and more about the fact that we are in desperate need of safe spaces that include all of us, needing to reckon with this idea that if we work hard enough for something, we can aspire to something, when the truth has been revealed that it doesn't matter how hard we work or how much we try, they're always going to find a way to keep us out. And so these two things are really battling, and I believe that that's the conversation we need to sit down and have as a family, and not this whole don't be mad because you struggled and I didn't. What I find interesting about this is that we're having to reckon with this whole Black elitism debate at a time where the Gilded Age is tackling the roots of why this is such a contentious issue for all of us.
Our family has lived in Rhode Island for 5 generations. My great-great-grandfather fought in the American Revolutionary War. He was a proud freeman and a patriot.
The roots of Black elitism that we don't often get to see discussed, let alone depicted on television. Like, they don't really talk about it in the history classes. But the Gilded Age, and one of the reasons why it's become so popular amongst Black audiences, is within this story of white New Yorkers who are doing well and new money and old money. You have examples of Black families who were living in Brooklyn, who were owning their own companies, vacationing on islands before Jim Crow was really riled up, shortly after emancipation. And Elizabeth Kirkland, who's played by Felicia Rashad, who's doing an amazing job. She is from a family that was always free. They're very fair-skinned, and her very fair-skinned son is falling in love with Peggy, who is very dark-skinned Black woman who has always been free, but her father was a slave. There's this whole nose looking down upon Peggy's family. This whole idea that the Kirklands, or mostly Mrs. Kirkland, doesn't really want her family to add slavery to their heritage. It's that attitude that triggers people when they see things like that Martha's Vineyard ad. And I think it's really interesting that they're happening at the same time right now. If you haven't watched The Gilded Age, I highly recommend you check it out. I am so glad Deion Sanders is okay. I was as shocked as everybody else when he revealed that he had been battling bladder cancer earlier this year. There was just one part that stood out to me, more shocking almost than the cancer itself.
We are dealing with bladder cancer.
Karrueche? Did everybody know that Karrueche and Deion Sanders were dating? They still themselves haven't confirmed it, but the girl was at his bedside. And I am stunned because what? Now, the only thing more shocking is the fact that Deion Sanders had no will until he was going for this bladder surgery.
Yesterday was tough. I had to make a will.
I just have to ask us as a people, why do we keep not preparing for the only thing that is expected and inevitable in life, which is death? Deion Sanders is a retired NFL player. He's made millions. He got at least 5 children, shows, properties, and the man didn't have a will? Why are we like this? Even if all you have to leave as a legacy are the coins in the velvet Crown Royal bag in the back of the house, make the will. Black people, I beg, I beg. Have y'all heard of the T-App? They have finally given us a way to check the Carfax on these, and I, for one, think it's a brilliant idea. I think it's what women deserve. I think it's what men deserve. I love the idea of women being able to leave reviews and you just can go on ahead and check the files. I am very excited to perhaps dabble when I decide to start entertaining men again. I think every woman knows the experience of seeing some man online, pursuing a woman, and her having no clue about the way he's terrorized one of your friends or you in the past, and thinking to yourself, damn, how can I warn her? I want to be a girl's girl, but I don't want to come off as a hater. Now, there's a way. It's called the T-App, and I hope it remains piping hot over there. I hope they show voting records too. Don't forget to add those. Dental records and voting records. I want all of those on the T-App, if they're not already. Well, y'all, that's that on that. See you next time.